go with, this is our Eat Clean Made Simple nutrition plan. Just to preface this real quick, Kathy and I believe most of our coaching staff, this is what they follow for the most part. Very similar, very comparable foods that you'll see and recipes that you'll see on this nutrition plan. So here's food options. If you just make life really simple and look at anything outside these food options or this page, that's the other stuff. Doesn't mean it's off limit. It just means for the majority of the time, these are the food sources you'll be consuming on a daily basis. And I don't want to get into the other stuff about weekends and parties. I mean, that's typically up to you. But these are the foods that you're going to be choosing from most of the time. All right. So to the next page. Portion guides. This just shows us a serving, but I'll just keep it really simple, even more simple than just using hand. And I'll get into this a little bit later, but the one takeaway from this is, and we're going to say this because we know people are usually deficient, especially women, in taking enough protein on a daily basis, especially if you go to the gym and do any type of challenging training, and we certainly do at the Lift Gym. But as far as protein, if you look at a 1 pound, just 1 pound of any animal source protein, that is give or take a couple of grams. It's 100 grams of protein. Complete protein has all the essential amino acids, which are incredibly important for our purposes here. But so if it's 100 grams in a pound, and we can quarter that up, so every 4 ounces is 25 grams. That's a pretty good serving size for women to start with. For guys, you would just typically just double that up. So a quarter of 4 ounces is 25. Of course, 8 ounces would be about 50 grams of protein. So just keep those numbers in mind. Healthful fats. Don't want to get too crazy about this either. Sometimes, a thumb is just, if we look at it, what is a thumb? For some people, it might be 12, a dozen almonds. For guys, that would be, okay, if that was, say, for a guy, you could kind of look at his thumb side or size and look at a portion for that in comparison. Maybe it's 10 to 12 almonds, so he would double it up. It'd be a couple dozen almonds would be just a healthful snack size of fat for him. For women, it'd be, a dozen, 10 to a dozen almonds, walnuts, whatever you choose to eat as far as nuts. Healthful carbs, that's another easy one. If it's a medium yam, medium sweet potato, medium white potato, that's fine. We don't want to get too dicey about that stuff. If it's pasta or white rice, brown rice, you can use your palm to kind of eyeball stuff, or you can just simply do this. A quarter cup of dry rice or pasta would be the measure for a serving. So if you put that in water and boiled it and all that stuff, you'd have fluffy rice. Pasta is a little bit thicker when you boil it. Comes out to a cup. So a cup of cooked rice or pasta would be a serving. It would be about 35 grams of carbohydrates, which is carbs are perfectly fine and necessary on this plan. Fruits and vegetables, we have always said that you cannot OD on vegetables, so just go for it. I'm not going to, do however much you want to consume. Fruits, just 1 serving. That's 1 apple, 1 medium banana, maybe 8 ounces of strawberries, or quarter cup of blueberries, something like that. I don't think we're going to overconsume that stuff, right? So just make sure that you do plan. Pick a couple days a week that you're going to at least go food shopping, and 1 or 2 of those days that you're going to prep some of your meals, or at least prep some of the sources, like your chicken, for instance. Throw a couple pounds on the grill and just grill that stuff up, and you'll have it ready in the refrigerator. But make sure you are planning. You're not coming home late at night or in the middle of the day or whatever, and just kind of throwing stuff together that is not on the plan. So just make sure you're always somewhat prepared. At least have those foods in the refrigerator ready to go. Here's a 7-day meal plan. That's just a sample. It's something you can look at and actually use, and just kind of opt in and out some of these foods for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Typically, that's what you're going to be having. Let's just call that 4 meals a day. What I would consider here, though, if you're having, say you have 4 meals a day. I normally have 4 meals a day. I'm 180 pounds. I want to get and this is the first thing I look at every single, when I'm looking at someone's program or my program or Kathy's or someone else's program, that what's your ideal body weight, approximate, and you want to eat about 0.9 to 1 gram of complete protein per pound. So I like to maintain about 180 pounds. I have about 180 grams of protein every single day. So one of these might be this. My snack might be, if I'm training, I train 4 days a week, and it's always strength training stuff, or I'm definitely in the weight room. I'll have my BiPro protein, and I could put 3 scoops of that whey protein in a shaker and have that. That would be 60 grams. So I've already taken, and it's just a quick trick, I've already taken in a third of my protein intake for the day just in my whey protein if I decide to do that, and I do that quite often. And let's see, when you go food shopping. So how you shop for the fat loss formula, real simple concept here. Have your grocery list with you. Don't add anything to it. Once you get to the food store, don't add anything into it or on it, or necessarily take anything off of it. Go in there with your plan. You have a pretty good idea of what all this stuff is. Where are the eggs? Where's the protein? The meats and chicken, all that stuff. Fish, salads, fruit, all that stuff. You know where it is in the supermarket. Just beeline it to those areas and then get out. Don't go astray and start putting some stuff in that grocery cart that is not going to help you get to where you need to go. And so enough said there. You don't want to go there hungry either. Put the stuff you need in your grocery cart, get out. All right. Don't forget to pay for it. Simply grocery list. So this is typically, you can just copy and paste this, and that's basically, those are the foods you might want to just have in your cart. Some of these condiments, red wine vinegar, it could be balsamic vinegar as well. Beef jerky, that's fine too to have. Just get a good, no nitrates beef jerky if you like that kind of stuff. Grass-fed source butter, coconut milk, almond milk, those are all great. We just don't want these to be flavored necessarily. If it's flavored, that's fine, but if it's sweetened, not good. Just get everything unsweetened as far as the milks are concerned. Spices, just want to be specific on one. Just Himalayan salt would be a good idea to have in the house, just to kind of salt up some of the foods that you might eat. Almond butter, organic chicken broth, those things are great. You can add and take off some. If you don't like almond butter, peanut butter is perfectly fine, right? Klotz's Kitchen. So here we go. Local restaurant guide. These are some of the restaurants in our area that you might frequent, and we just give you typically a green light on some of these, and these aren't. They're more expansive than that. I'm sure you get more at Klotz's Kitchen, just brine salad. But this is a good one. I've always liked it. You do a good job with it. Brine salad, just ask for a couple chicken breasts, and you've got a great meal right there. Local Urban Kitchen, you guys know that place. Most of their stuff is fine on that menu. I just picked out a couple. Those are breakfast. I've only gone there really for breakfast. Main Street Kitchen, Main Street in Manasquan. She runs a great store there. Really good, tasteful foods. Kathy and I and a couple of the coaches have gone there several times. Chelsea's come with us several times. It's tasty stuff there. Cole House Pizza, I know it's good, but we're not going to, with any great frequency, have pizza, I would think. I mean, that's something we all have on occasion, but don't do it too often, right? But you have a great Cole House house salad. Just add grilled chicken and you're good to go. Joe Leone's, great salads there, great food there. We know that, but we also know, you know, what should we be typically having on occasion or with frequency. So that's an easy go there, right? We all know the salads are great. Get chicken on it if you like. Chipotle, that's just an example of a national chain restaurant. The burrito bowls are fine, especially on days you might train, you're on the road. It's not going to kill you. It's perfectly fine to have that. And then we have some recipes. These have been tried and tested and very good, tasty choices if you like to get a little bit more creative and look into making meals taste a bit more palatable if you like. These are some good ones. So feel free to swipe those. Water. We want really important for you guys to stay hydrated for several reasons, but a good indication that you're not well hydrated or hydrated enough when you're kind of hanging around here, when your urine's a bit dark. So we want to up here a little more clear. We've always given from John Berardi's program Precision Nutrition, his half ounce per pound of current body weight is a good thing to kind of go with. But just keep eye on the color of your urine, and if it's a little bit dark, you just got to increase your fluids a little bit more. That's all that's about. Your fluid should be majority water. Seltzer, club soda is fine as long as it's not sweetened with anything. If they're artificially flavored or you have raspberry flavored, cherry flavored, lemon, those are all perfectly fine. Just stay away from any of the sugar that might be in some of the club sodas. Tea, iced tea, flavored's fine. Sweetened, it's probably not a good idea. An occasional diet soda. There's a couple out there that are not, they're flavored with stevia, and they are not, you won't see that caramel kind of color in them. They're clear. They don't put the artificial colors in there. Pretty good options. I know we've shared stuff on the Facebook page. I can't remember the one company that has a pretty good one out there, but it's good. They just don't put any of the artificial flavors or colorings in there, and the sweeten it with stevia. Supplement guide, pretty important stuff. These are just the things I think if you're going to have a supplement kind of arsenal, these would typically be just about it. ID Life Nutrition, I like them. We've been taking this stuff for years since the advent of that company. I like them because actually you could take an assessment, a nutrition assessment that they offer on their website, but you can go to mine. I am affiliated with them. So if you care to take the test, and you can just do this, you just take the test and see what they would recommend based on the information that you share. They have these data banks and algorithms that spit back the micronutrients that you might need to be a little bit more healthful, right? So micronutrients, vitamins and minerals are incredibly important for proper cell function and all that. And we know that our soils are fairly deplete in many really important vitamins and minerals. That's basically where we get most of those nutrients from. So you can go to that. You can click on this, mattjennings.idlife.com / and you can take the assessment.